Welcome to Life on the Rocks, your innovative entrepreneurship and motivational based show where we ask the real questions by tapping into the minds of successful, high-performing individuals. I'm going to predicate to you that luck is an illusion, disproving the myth that there's a such thing as an overnight success. Get ready and strap in 3, 2, 1. We are coming at you live from Life on the Rocks, episode 6, with your host, Connor Larocque. Today's featured guest in the hot seat is my friend Simon, i.e. Goliath Lafont. Is that how you say that last name?
Lafontaine.
All right, Lafontaine. I got that just for everybody who knows.
Close enough.
How you doing, my man?
Pretty good, dude.
Nice to have you on the show today. For anyone who doesn't know, Simon is the premier DJ at the Grand, known as Goliath. He's the one that gets the party started. That's why I bring him on the show today. Also, for anyone who doesn't know, you're also a nursing student. What year are you in school right now?
Currently finishing up my 3rd year.
Okay, so give me some context. So you're a DJ at night, and then you're a student during the day. What got you into nursing first?
Nursing, well, I mean, just parental obligations, you gotta go to school, gotta, get your life in order. So I originally took paramedics, got injured, can do that, went over, and what's the closest thing, right? I figured, hey, I'll become a nurse.
I find that kind of interesting. So, it's one of those things where I thought a long time ago, maybe if I could go back in a previous life, I'd be a doctor. But you know what, let's not, I'm gonna go into business, right? It's one of those things. But I actually consider you, so that's why I reached out to you to have you on the show, is you're kind of like an entrepreneur yourself. I mean, DJs, you have to get out there, you gotta promote, you gotta network, you gotta really showcase your brand. First off, what got you into becoming a DJ? I.e. Goliath, that's the brand, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to do like hip hop back when I was in high school. I wanted to be the next, 50 Cent or something with that.
I
Met Carl Wolf, he hated my music, and that kind of destroyed my dream.
Really, right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
No, nice guy.
Wow,
So then after that, I picked up guitar. I mean, I played piano for 14 years, classically trained. And then I, did the whole bodybuilding thing, but that didn't go too well. I got injured doing that too.
Always getting injured right before you're about to take off, get injured?
Every time.
Yeah.
But after that, I just kind of thought, like, what's with the modern times with like the new music that was coming out, and it was all EDM, it was all like, Tiesto, David Guetta, and that kind of stuff. So I just kind of picked it up, and I decided to learn how to produce, and that's how it started.
How difficult, like, so from start to finish to actually get a song into production, how many people does it take? And like, how long would it take? So for instance, everyone's seen on Hot or Not, on Hot 93.5, he just released that song called Paris. So I actually really enjoyed the song. I was talking with my friend G-Ran, obviously, and we're laughing, we're like, yeah, like, this kid's got talent. For the thing, how long did it take to actually produce that full song?
Oh God. Okay, well, Paris is one of those songs that I made a while back. Actually, I made it at the start of the summer. That's when I actually started working on it. But I mean, that was before Closer by the Chainsmokers came out and all that kind of like weird new like happy pop music.
It's all love music, eh?
Yeah. So I mean, all that stuff came out afterwards. And it's like I sent Paris around before, but it wasn't ready. It was almost like too early for the times. So it's kind of like wine. I had to let it age a bit. So after Closer came out and like the public ear was more I guess used to those sounds, then I sent it over to G-Rant, and then he's like, hey, you need to change a couple things, make it radio friendly. I did it, sent it back to him, he absolutely fell in love with it, and I got it up on the radio.
That's awesome. I know, I seen that, honestly, just on the Facebook, not the live, but you see the whole thread, everybody was liking it. I was calling Evan 4 times, I'm like, you gotta get it. I always call just to make sure, is that song hot? No, it's usually not, but this one, in that case, actually was.
Fire.
That's it, fire for sure.
Fire.
How does this work? So, I don't know how the process works with Hot or Not. Like, what exactly happens? So, if you get enough hots, they're gonna put you to a national level, which will basically put you on the whole radio sphere for NewCap?
Well, and it's because NewCap has this initiative right now about like trying to promote Canadian artists. Okay. And I see this as my opportunity, really. And then so when G-Rant presented me with that opportunity, obviously I put so much more work into like Paris. I got it professionally mastered. I got like all like the professional mixing and work done to it. And then I sent it in, and then it's all, well, the first Sudbury, it was more of a how the crowd would react. So just seeing how a lot of strangers that I had never met before, that had no relationship with me, enjoy the song shows that it's radio friendly, it's family friendly, people like it, people want to hear it. And then there's actually a couple of times when people will actually call in later, like on the Hot 93, and go, hey, can you play Paris by Goliath? And tell my friends, tell me they were doing that. I was like, holy cow, like something's happening here.
Moving, yeah.
Yeah, so because it's doing so well, now it's up to a panel of judges, I suppose, to decide if it's good enough to go national, and then I'll get the trending track, and
that's what you want to do, so I guess.
And I'll be the next Drake.
I believe it. You know, who wants to be the next Drake though? You'll be the next Goliath. Yeah, that's it. Let's back it up though for a second. So, what got you in the name Goliath? Like, what that for your branding purposes, right? Like, what put you into the name Goliath?
That's actually a really bad story.
Is that your bodybuilding name?
No, my bodybuilding name was actually T-Rex.
Oh, T-Rex, really? Yeah.
And then I met Grand Theft, who's a DJ.
I never heard of him. I've seen the name, but I never heard of him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I met him, and then and I showed him one of his remix. So I did a remix contest for one of his songs, and then turns out that he actually liked it. But he said, "Hey, I mean, this is cool, but you know, the name T-Rex is already used by a DJ that's in Los Angeles. There's a T-Rex at MTV in Toronto, so like, you gotta change that up if you want to have any kind of like real branding." And so I honestly just put up on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, I need a new name. Anybody got suggestions?"
Next thing you know, Goliath too.
Yeah. So then somebody put like Goliath, and somebody put like the Grand something, and I was like, what if I put the Grand Goliath? So that's where the GG actually comes from.
GG, yeah.
But then I was like, hey, that's a really stupid name. Like, what is Goliath GG or the Grand Goliath? So I was like, okay, so I guess I'll just keep the GG for logos and for cool animations. That'll be great for like animations and 3D stuff. And then just keep Goliath, and that's how that happened.
Because you always see it, it spins at the Grand. Funny enough, like when I used to go to the Grand, you know, in my younger years, right, which wasn't that long ago, right? But because I was used to DJ Jack, so he did really good at his branding purposes. It's funny how you crossed over into there. What got you into the Grand? Like, how did you pitch them? Like just the owners of the Grand, or did they look for a DJ and there's basically like a select few DJs, and then you went in? How did that work?
So after Jack actually moved to Toronto,
good guy too, by the way. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah. Love him.
Yeah.
So after he moved to Toronto, well, they had no more DJs, right? So then they need a DJ as a bar.
Yeah, sure.
So I was actually working at the Colson, and then it's kind of like the Colson wanted to go in a different direction, and I was the resident there for like a year and a bit. So they were like, I still have a great relationship with them.
For sure.
Yeah, so they wanted to go in a different direction, and I mean, I was heading towards the more Goliath side of like, you know, heavier music and that kind of stuff. So I mean, on all good terms, we just kind of parted ways, and it was just so happening that at that same time that the Grand was looking for any DJ. So, I mean, they had like, this whole application process, and a bunch of people tried to like become the new Grand DJ. But I mean, seeing how I had just played Ever After, and I had like, this like big roll of fire around me.
Yeah.
They like I sent them a message. I was like, "Hey, so like you guys like looking for a DJ?" And then like, "Yeah, I come for a meeting." Went in for the meeting, and then discussed it a bit, and that's how it happened.
I think that's huge, especially because that's like, it seems like it's the biggest bar in the city, right? You get a whole younger crowd, but then you get a mix of a number of different things. And just for the audience out there watching, I know we're talking a lot about DJ or becoming a DJ, all this other stuff. I find because it does relate to the aspect of entrepreneur, right? You're promoting your brand. Same thing I said, it's the whole marketing piece. I want you to walk you through this because I think this is for the sake of observation. It's kind of interesting. What happens when you're up there in front of, like, you know, similar like if I go out on stage and I'm talking, you're up on the stage and you're playing the song, but everyone's not kind of resonating with the music. Like, how do you gauge that? Like when you're on stage, you have your tracks preset, or you're working with it as you go. You're like, holy crap, you know, you drop the beat, everyone's kind of like, eh. But then you have other moments when they're just through the roof. Like, how do you work with that? Like mentally, psychologically?
Honestly, I think it's just experience. I mean, when I'm not even gonna lie. When I first started off at the Grand, my first couple of nights were atrocious. Like my music selection wasn't the greatest for what, you know, that crowd wanted. Not that I wasn't ready. I was just not ready, you know?
Yeah.
And then eventually, I mean, with the experience and with one of my buddies who like helped me a lot, like get all the new songs that I needed to get. It's just about reading the crowd, and like when you play, like so let's say I'm playing some like pop song, a top 40 or something, and the crowd's reacting well. Cool, I'll play another one. I'll play another one until eventually they start kind of dying down. Then I'll go, okay, what's next? Oh, let's go to hip hop. And then I'll play like that one Jay-Z track, and everybody starts bouncing, and that's when, you know, you get the energy back. So it's just about the whole night is about reading the crowd over and over and over again until you reach 2 a.m. and then all bets are off.
And then like, all right, cut the power, they pull the plug. It's the same. It's funny that you make that sense. It's the same thing in business, or whether you want to become a public speaker, whatever that is. It's building that momentum train behind your name, and that's why you take a lot of these A-list celebrities, and all of a sudden they take a dump and they disappear. And it's kind of amazing, I find, to think that you see these stars that are still famous for, you know, 10 plus years. You know what I mean? To actually still be up there in the whole scene, because a lot of them, they say, touch while the iron's hot. And it's one of those things to keep the consistency thing. So going back here for a second, so you went into nursing. In a sense, is that your backup plan? Like, I'm assuming you want to go in as a DJ, like you want to become one of these guys, and I respect that. Like, I really do. Like, that's something you're going out there chasing your dream, and that's the main thing. So that you're going to live, or are you going to do both? are you going to be one of those guys? Because you seem like it. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, this guy doesn't sleep.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't understand. Like, he's not even a caffeine drinker. No, you are probably.
Well, right now I have for exams. But.
Yeah. But no, like, are you going to do both, or are you just looking to focus full time on DJing if this is going to hit? You know, because I know you're the type of guy you're going to just keep coming out swinging. Like I always say, swing, 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 and something's going to happen.
I mean, I don't really believe in the whole put all your eggs in one basket thing.
Absolutely.
Personally, I don't know. I wouldn't bank on it. So the way that I see it, music is my passion. And not just music, art. I mean, I do like all my own visuals are all me. Like most of my like the stage design, that's all me. Like I do all my art. But then medicine is something I'm really good at.
It's awesome.
Like I'm really good at connecting with my patients when I'm on placements or at work. It's one of those things that it came naturally to me. So what am I gonna do with my life? I don't know. I'm taking it one day at a time.
One day at a time.
I'm not rushing. I mean, I'm 24.
You know,
I'm in the prime. Yeah. I mean, I sleep 2 hours a night, if even.
I don't know. I know.
But that's okay, because I mean, I'll beat up my body now, and you know, when I get to my grave, I'll have no regrets. No, absolutely none.
They say that's like you know who Matt Hoffman is? You remember that guy, the BMX guy?
Yeah.
He said, you know, I forget what exactly the quote, but it was paraphrased. He's like, you know, when I go there, he's like, I want my body to be completely destroyed. Like, guys broke every bone in his body. He's like, that's how you do it. You got to live to that edge. And I'm not, that wasn't to put you on the spot. That was just to ask. I want to see, you know, because coming from that background, I mean, like, you're up all night, you know what I mean? You're up, like, you're pumping music until 2 in the morning, then all of a sudden that, and then you got to go to school. Like, how hard of a balance is it? Like, where do you find balance? Because just so everyone in the audience there, my mentality, and I'm not the same as a lot of people when it comes to it. I don't want balance in life. I want to blow it up. That's a joke. The Grant Cardone, you know,
there is no balance.
Yeah, like I'm not looking for balance in my life. Like I'm the same as you, where you know, don't put your eggs in one basket. I'm going to hit all these targets. If I'm good, if I'm better than 75% of people, that's where you hit your mark. I don't see it a lot of time in today's age where it's just you're really good at one thing. You have to be dynamic. That's what's going to sell to society, and that's what's going to push you forward. I find.
No, it's true.
You know what I mean? So. Where do you find that balance? Like at night, if you're not sleeping, like how do you get a release? Is it working on your music, or is it, you know, let's say going for a walk at night or playing some ping pong, or give me a walk through that. So for people out there, like if you're hitting all these targets, like how do you do it?
Honestly, I was brought up by a dad who came to this country with very, very little from Haiti.
I didn't know that. Wow.
And so it's just, and he managed to put himself through all this time in schooling and become a very successful man, and it's just. I was kind of brought up with that same mentality of how do I keep up with my dad?
Absolutely.
How do I keep up with my dad? And the way to do that is work harder than anybody else. That's what I live by. That's what I do. So when it comes to my music, I mean, I'll work for like a straight 12 hours and I should probably go eat something. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or same with like studying. I'll go like today. We're probably gonna do another like 10 hours and then I should probably go eat something. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. How do you manage the no sleep aspect? Because that's something a lot of people I think would want to know, right? Like for me, I always try to wonder, like, how can you function off so many hours of sleep? Is it just become habitual that you're like, oh, I'm just used to, you know, getting out, my body's programmed? Like, is there any techniques or anything that you use specifically?
No, two things. One is passion.
That's huge.
It's not hard. It's just like, okay, this is an expression I believe in so much. The whole, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
I love that. Yeah.
That is factual. That is what life is. That is what my life is based around, pretty much. So I mean, you know, passion, and just the fact that the way I see it, I mean, the human body can adapt to absolutely so much. So, I mean, if, you know, we came from cavemen to become here, what's keeping me from only doing 2 hours of sleeping and not getting used to it?
No, you're right. Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, I've reached like the paradoxical stage of my sleep once, and that's enough for me, really. Which is the 2 hours sleep cycle, yeah.
It's funny, I think we live a lot by the same mentality. A theory I designed, it's kind of like a program. I always said that when an incentive is high enough to achieve a task, you'll find a way. And I lived that throughout my life. You're going to see it. I use the exact same examples because they're so simple, but it shows you. If you're sitting in a room, let's say, for instance, you're a basketball player, you're putting everything on the line, you're working out, you know, for 4 hours all day, 7 days a week, you're dead tired, you're like, Connor, I got nothing left in the tank. And I'm sitting there and, you know me, I'm looking, I'm like, you know, I'm that guy, I don't take no for an answer.
No.
And, but all of a sudden, LeBron James is your idol. He walks through that door. Do you think you're going to keep there and say you have nothing left, or is that incentive going to crack open in your mind, i.e. unlock it? Absolutely. And it's the same thing, that if you look at any highly successful person, it all comes back to how hungry they are. That's really it, and that's what you said. The passion is the energy, and then it's that hunger that's going to keep you going. When, you know, for instance, like if I was doing door-to-door sales, I was getting so many doors slammed in my face, you know, I needed to put on some steel-toe boots, you know? No, but really, it's that same thing. It's true. And as a DJ, you know, this is going to be one of the last questions because it's so important. How do you market yourself to be different than other DJs?
So there's two quotes that I live by that are from two of my favorite DJs out there. So one of them was Diplo, who said, and I quote, "Fake it till you make it." Which sounds ridiculous, but I mean, like, so that's how I started, right? So like, when I was just trying to get like those first 100 views on SoundCloud, it was all about just trying to make everything look bigger than it actually was, so people would actually grab attention. Because who's gonna want to listen to that kid with like that, you know, that sucks and that doesn't have any views or anything like that, right, yeah. Or no following. So it's like I had to fake this following to get a following.
Exactly, yeah, to build it.
Yeah, and then the second one is from Dylan Francis, who said, "The only way to be different from everybody else is to be yourself." Because like who can be you?
That's huge,
right?
That really is.
So I mean, like, so I kind of like I went back and I did like not this whole really like this deep Zen soul searching, but I really went and I was like, okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How can I work with this? So my strengths were, okay, cool. So I'm good at talking to new people. I'm outgoing and all that stuff. So how can I at least use this to my advantage? You know. So it was, and also I'm good on social media. Right? So
sure, yeah.
That was a really key thing nowadays. So it was just about like, you know, putting my personality through my Facebook. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that people can say that I'm actually real. I'm not like faking this. I'm not pretending to be this overzealous like douchebag, if I'm allowed to say that on camera. For sure. And then so just putting me out there, and when I met all these promoters, again, being me, not being fake. And then just like when I went to Toronto just last week, actually, I met a couple guys, and I was very humble with them. Like, and then wait, weren't you that guy that played Ever After? I was like, yeah, that was me. And they're like, wait, so why didn't you open with that? Like, because I'm not from Toronto, you know, I'm me.
Exactly.
You know, so it was just, and using my interpersonal nursing skills of just being caring for people. Like, I mean, I saved the kid last weekend in a mosh pit who ended up finding my watch that I lost on the floor. So I mean, just using that karma to my advantage, you know. And that's how I became different from everybody else, using my own skills, using my classical training for my music. Using the fact that I do hip hop for just the way that I structure my songs, using the way that I use my guitar to put guitar in my songs that most DJs wouldn't be able to do. So again, just using your own skills.
I think that's one of that's huge right there. That was one of the major points you can honestly see. And that's another thing in terms of marketing. Like I find with social media, it's all about that narrative. You know, so people see inside your life, and a lot of people, they look at me and they're like, I don't even know what this guy does, because it's like, you know, I'm all over the place, and it goes off that same premise where you said put your eggs in a certain basket. Another major thing I think you could really respect and appreciate is I always try to say be omnipresent, meaning be everywhere. You know, so that people are, holy crap, he's here, they're there, and that's it. And from a marketing standpoint, when they see you more frequently, then all of a sudden you start to encode within their brain. And I think that's honestly huge. And to close this interview off, Goliath, that's how I used to call you, not even Simon, Goliath, I like that. Where do you see yourself going here? And I know you said you're taking it day by day, but where do you see it? You think that I personally believe that song was going to go national. I seen it, I listened to it, I felt it in my soul. Where do you see yourself going? What can we expect coming out from you with the DJ and becoming a nurse? Like, what do you have to look forward to?
I mean, there's some things I'm not at the liberance to talk about, obviously. For
sure.
But I mean, just the fact that I'm the newly elected vice president of student life at Laurentian University. So I mean, like I'm obviously going to try to try to revive the scene, entertainment scene in Sudbury by making like big events for obviously the SGA members, which are like Laurentian students. Yeah. And the community by bringing, let's say, a big artist for Frosh, or I don't know, we're not there yet. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's that. Or this summer, I'll be working with DC Inc., based out in Milton and Sudbury, and we're going to I'm going on like this mini tour, and the whole tour bus and stuff is going to be
the real deal, man.
Crazy, like personal stage, all that's insane. And then for my medicine, I mean, I'm beginning the application process to go to NOSM.
Really, yeah, that's huge. That's
I mean,
that's what I mean. See, you wouldn't even
we'll see what happens. You know,
you're gonna be a doctor and a DJ,
no
DD
stress,
right there.
No stress.
Do you? One last thing too. Are you good friends with Ian Park? By any chance? He used to be the former vice president. Like Ian was always bringing, rhythm works.
Yeah, Ian's my guy.
Yeah, Ian's a sick guy. So you're gonna recreate something like that with your own kind of texture, right?
Exactly.
Ian's a good friend of mine too. And he was always hilarious, right?
Yeah,
so
I definitely have the vision, like the same, because Ian had this vision of how do I do the craziest show. You know, so I mean, I definitely have the same vision, just maybe a little bit more PG. But I mean,
I like that. No, that's good. Honestly, though, it's been an absolute pleasure. For anyone that wants to go, give them your social media so they can see you out there.
So I mean, everything. This is an important part about branding as well. Everything should be the same for everything you have, right? So my Twitter and my Facebook, my Instagram, my SoundCloud, everything is well, depending on the website, it's either Goliath-GG or Goliath_GG.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's easy to follow, and you can find me pretty much anywhere with that.
Perfect. Thank you, my friend. It's been a pleasure.
Honestly, nice to meet you.